Welcome everyone, my name is Gary Perkins and I'm the Community Relations Advocate for the Family Life Center, the only dual certified crisis center specializing in domestic abuse and sexual violence in Flagler County. Quick trigger warning, this episode of Family Life Center Focus talks about domestic violence, may move into sexual assault. If you are a survivor, please take care of yourself. We want to make sure that every listener's in a good mental state coming out of these discussions. Today's guest on the show is someone I had the pleasure with working with for the first time, a week and a half ago. It was a pleasure. Everyone welcome Miss Yvette Gonzalez-Farrell. And the crowd goes, wow. And for everyone that doesn't know Miss Yvette, she is with United Way Flagler Volusia, correct? How's it going today, Miss Yvette?
Going good. Had a very busy week and I'm going to continue to keep it going that way.
That's right. So you were kind of on, not much of a, we're coming out of the election season, but you were kind of on like a campaign trail, just thanking some of your biggest supporters. So what was that like?
Well, I'm so proud to say that our largest supporter and United Way Worldwide's largest supporter is Publix. And Publix is in only 7 states in the United States, but they are, and United Way is worldwide. We're all over the world. And Publix, being only in 7 states, is #1 worldwide to giving to United Way. They are about 50% of our fundraising, and the culture of that organization does not surprise me that they are #1. Their culture is to give back. Their culture means if our community's fine, we're fine, and that falls directly into United Way's mission.
Definitely. Shout out to Publix. We can't thank them enough. I know I thank them every time I go in for a pub sub, or I like their Diet Green citrus tea. It's really, really good. But for those that are not familiar with, the background on United Way's mission, can you kind of go into detail on what United Way is all about?
Well, our technical mission is to increase the organizational capacity of the community to care for its people. So if we break that down, the organizational capacity, a lot of our fundraising is done through organizations. We help companies fulfill their social responsibility to give back to its community, and we give them an opportunity to do that in a way that can affect the community as a whole. In other words, part of my job is to raise money and awareness of organizations like yours and about 15 other organizations currently in Volusia and Flagler that we support. And when I say we, I mean the community does. We're just the ones that organize it for the community so that these organizations, these people, these businesses that want to give back, they have a safe place to donate their time, their money, or their advocacy to. And in return, what United Way does is through a competitive grant process, we give that money back out into the community. So 83 cents of every dollar, approximately 83 cents of every dollar goes right back out, which is very good when you look in comparison to most organizations. And we have the capacity to have, and we should know the pulse of our community, and we're proud to know that. And we only know that by making sure we have boots on the ground and are teaming with organizations such as yours, Family Life Center, that does so much in one section, which is Flagler. But you guys also reach out and will do anything across the board. The other things that each United Way only works for its footprint. And that's strategically planned that way because we're only a small team. And I may not know the challenges of Orlando or New York or California, but I am supposed to know my challenges. We are to know our challenges in our community and what are the needs in the community. And it is our job to make sure that we're fitting those needs and putting the organizations in place to fit those needs. So we spread the 2.3 million approximately every year out right currently to 16 organizations and 21 programs. It's strategically done that way because it takes a village. So if we put all our money into one pocket and only support one organization, I mean, you're all deserving of it, but we know that we cross our resources. So when your organization may need something from the Homeless Coalition, or the Homeless Coalition runs into someone that has been raped or sexually abused or anything, we can reach out. Or someone just needs rent assistance. We have organizations that do that. So we're across the board, from Boys and Girls Club to Council on Aging to to Family Life Center, the Beacon. I mean, I can go on and on, even, Pace Center for Girls. So we try to keep things in an order that everyone benefits, and it is taking care of the community needs. And most of all, filling that gap of our ALICE population. And our ALICE is an acronym for basically our working poor. When ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constraint, but employed. So these are the people that have to work more than one job to get going. And we know that's a very large gap. It's 46% of Volusia, 42% of Flagler. So 46% of Volusia County and 42% of Flagler, it's almost half, is at or below poverty level. And that's before COVID. So it's our mission to work for those people and make sure that we're giving them a hand up, not a handout. And we're teaming them up with organizations that, like yours, that can make their life better.
Definitely, and it means so much to us here at Family Life Center because, when we have our survivors and participants come to us, sometimes they come with the bare minimum. So for us to be able to reach out and, ask of help or even have the resources to give out for them, those single income households or, those single parents, it makes a lot of difference. And you guys actually were kind of like the middleman, and us partnering up with Ruin Ziffer, and it came just in time because it was before the toilet paper scandal or the chaos of the pandemic. So we definitely appreciate that. Ruin Ziffer associates came to Family Life Center, and they helped us unpack all the toiletries that you guys gave us. So we definitely appreciate that. And we also, we want to know what other services does United Way provide?
Well, I want to mention also very proudly that Cottonelle gave to United Way worldwide. So we had 125 cases of toilet paper that Cottonelle donated to us. And with that, it's a good example. That's a perfect example to show how we work with businesses that want to give back. So by teaming up with Ruin Zifra, we put both of our resources together, and we were able to supply not only to you, but to several organizations and shelters, because there are people that are on food lines that never thought they'd be on food lines, and there are people that are seeking for help from organizations like you that never thought they would seek the help. Right. So thank you for bringing that up. They were a fantastic partner, but that's just a small example of the heroes we have in our organization, and the companies like Brown & Brown, Root Company, Intercoastal, many more that step up to a challenge. When we raise our hands and say, this is the challenge, these are the organizations that are our heroes. So thank you for mentioning that.
No problem.
I bypassed your question. I'm sorry.
That's no problem. I just know that, I use you guys have a volunteer hub as well.
Yes.
So I utilize that for the Family Life Center. I'm always looking for volunteers. We actually have a day of action coming up this Saturday. We're building a new play set, kind of restructuring the backyard a little bit. So I'll be there early in the morning, my construction hat on,
Yeah.
But what other services do you provide?
Well, United Way is always here to fill a gap. And one of the gaps that were around for a while were helping childhood literacy. So we have what we call our Help Me Grow program. And I'm so proud that that program has been so successful that now one of our agencies are taking over it, which is Early Learning Coalition.
Oh, nice.
And our Help Me Grow program, we still solicit help for it and support it. It's so important, especially to me, because I understand the challenge of having a child that you may not have diagnosed or you think there's an issue. A lot of times, a parent doesn't know where to go, and you may think, okay, my child's not doing the work right, or they're being lazy, or I'm not motivating them well enough. And it could just be the slightest little disability. But Help Me Grow is what we do with Help Me Grow is it's a scanning process where a parent can scan, do a questionnaire, and have a caseworker call them and let them know, yes, your child does have a learning disability. Now what can we do to fix it? Let's give you resources. Let's make sure that child has a leg up, because a child that is not reading at a third grade reading level by the third grade is 4 times more likely to end up on public assistance and 8 times more likely to end up in jail. We want to prevent that ALICE population from growing. So we want to make sure that child has the best foot forward. So Help Me Grow helps you with that. They don't not only help you diagnose, but they also give you resources and counseling or treatment. One of our other programs is our VITA program. And VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. And it's really a fantastic program that people use, may not realize it comes from United Way, or they don't know about it, and I hope that they use it more. And we basically do your taxes for free.
Oh, wow.
It is a grant process that we go to get the grant. We have the volunteers, we run the whole program. Our tax preparers are IRS certified and trained. And basically we have tax sites all over the county in Volusia and Flagler, where the public can go to make sure they can get their long form done, anything they need, but they do not have to pay for it. Yeah. So that's an extra average $250 in your pocket, which we need so desperately.
You hear that, folks? If you didn't know about that before, you heard it first here on Family Life Center Focus. I think that's amazing. And, I just go back to when I was younger. I really didn't know the whole tax thing, and just having guidance, and I think it benefits the community as a whole.
Yeah, because if you think doing that easy for them because you don't know enough, and that's okay. But, if you sit down, you may find out that there are things that you can get. There are things you qualify for. And some of these things are retroactive. And you don't know that maybe you never tried it, but it retros for 3 years. So you get 3 years of that tax back to you. And it's a way to help educate people and let them know not to go to predatory lenders, not to give away your money. We want to make sure to educate them. Wrapped into that is also our Bank On program, where we actually go out to the schools. Our bankers, volunteers go out to the schools and they educate children on financial stability, because it starts from a child. And you may have never used a bank account before, and never, your parents don't, but we want to teach you financial stability, because without a banking or credit union account, you won't get your first car, you won't get a credit rating, you may not move into a better neighborhood. So we all see that as the stepping blocks to financial stability as a whole. So we recognize that, and that's why that falls under that program as well. And all of that can be found under our 211. And our 211 program has been around for over 15 years. 211 is basically nationwide, because every United Way has it. But right. 211 is answered 24/7. They are trained for certified and trained for suicide prevention. Or you can go on 211live.org. And right there, you just type in what you need, look for it'll give you resources in your community. It will narrow down the resources to your specific need, whether it's rent assistance, whether you need to find the Humane Society because you can't find your dog, or you have an elderly parent that you want to maybe get some assistance for, or even just find a daycare or someplace for them to go and have fun for a little while.
Right.
If there is a resource out there and it's vetted through United Way, it is on our 211 system and our 211live.org. And there's also a separate area for COVID-related issues and a separate area for the CDC. So as the needs go on, we put them on there. if you need to find food, if you need to find rent assistance, if you need to find utility assistance, if you need counseling, if you're home and you find that, okay, I'm in a bad environment, but I need help, you'll
Right.
find it there on 211. It's kind of that 911's for an emergency, but after that emergency, where do you go? So
For
we would
sure.
hope that you turn to 211 for that.
Definitely, definitely. And we definitely appreciate that. And so, for any of our viewers thinking, okay, well, how do they get funding? We talked about Publix and the big companies, pitching in. But how we kind of met was we actually did 3 presentations back to back with the Publix work of Port Orange, correct? Or was it
Mhm.
Volusia County? Okay. Port Orange Publix Works. And what our job there was to engage the community and have them pitch in, right? Can you kind of explain, what we do those presentations for?
The reason we do those, and I'm very proud of Public Works in Volusia County as a whole, of Public Works for Volusia County, because during the pandemic, it's very easy to say, sorry, not going to let you come in for a presentation. But I'm really proud that they took that initiative because they knew the needs there. And again, it's the organizations, and we make our money. We're able to raise that money for our organizations because for our nonprofits, because organizations bring in their employees and bring in their team and say, can you give $1 a paycheck? Can you afford to do 50 cents a paycheck or $3 a paycheck, whatever it is? Or can you afford to advocate or volunteer? And when we speak to these groups, it's nice that they get to know all this information and they have an opportunity to contribute, because $1 we turn into $3.92. So
Wow.
giving $1 a paycheck, I mean, that's less than a cup of coffee. And
Mm.
you don't realize what an impact you're making, because it takes those dollars, those $2 a paycheck, and we turn that into over 2 million.
Right.
And we support our community. So not only do they get an opportunity to give back in any way they want to, but it get an education of the resources that we just talked about. And a lot of them do not know those resources are there. And even though they are working, they may have a spouse that's not. Most likely now with our current climate, those 2 income households have turned into one.
Right.
And these people need these resources.
For sure.
They may have their job, they're sitting there listening to us, but I'm most of the time, we're always sharing something new and something they can take back home. And maybe they want to volunteer and give back, because that's another way of giving back. I
Right.
found during the pandemic, as many things as everyone can say has gone wrong, I am most proud of all the times that people stood up and said, Yvette, how can I help? Yvette, what does
Definitely.
United Way need? Where is the need? And our community is fantastic because we bind together and we
For
stand
sure.
together united.
Definitely. And like I said, I appreciate you guys allowing us, Family Life Center, to come down there, talk about our services, and just kind of connect the two. Because I bet, just my presentation probably shined a little bit of light on, what we do at the Family Life Center, and who we can help and how we can help. So thank you so much for that. Like I said, United Way, you guys have been so great to us. But you've actually, done some advocacy in your past, correct?
Yes, I did my internship with Domestic Abuse Council. I also sat on Boys and Girls Club board, and was very civic minded. I sat on many economic development boards and boards in my town. Very involved in DeLand, and any place I went, I came from the corporate sector, but I always gave back. I also sit with the Victim Advocacy Coalition just to make sure that we're all on the same page with the Sheriff's
Right.
Department. So it's always been a passion of mine, and one way or another, I was always had one foot in that nonprofit field, but I always knew that there was a need for it. And I come from a family of 5 where our mama raised us all by herself.
Right.
So I was and am one of those Alice's, and having the opportunity, should I say, working for United Way, to advocate for organizations like yours and to speak on things, it's such an honor, it's a privilege. And to have a job with a cause and a mission,
Right.
to know I'm making a difference, whether it's slight or in any way, I that fills my heart.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. Before we let you go, is there any one piece of advice that you would give to anyone that is struggling with domestic violence or sexual violence, just through from your experience of working?
Um, it's a hard struggle and it's not your fault. And know that there is a line that you can call. You can always just make a phone call and talk to someone, even if you're not ready to make a move. Just make
Yeah.
that
So
first phone call. That's right.
right here, there you go,
Make
right
that
there.
first phone call. Start researching on your own. Please be safe on what you do and safe on where you go for help. Because we know that the most crucial time for a woman is when she's thinking of leaving, or a man, when they're thinking of changing their environment and making a change in their life. When they're ready to make that change, it is a crucial time, but it can also be a very inspiring time. And know that you are not alone. Not
Definitely,
alone.
definitely. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I would just, add on help starts here. But, I kind of wanted to have you on not just to get to kind of spread the information about United Way, but really tie in one of the services that Family Life Center provides, and that's referrals to, different agencies. So, having United Way as kind of like a partner and hey, we need some help with, just some of the different things that you guys help with. I think it's amazing. So thank you so much. Can you just tell the viewers how they can, get in touch with you or become part of the United Way movement?
Yes, our website or our 211. Look for 211 during VITA. They'll let you know during those times. Go on to our website. You'll have connection to us. You can always call the building. That we are working partially remote, partially here, but you can always call and you can ask for me personally, Yvette, and we will, whether I'm remote or not, it'll get to me. But reach out into our 211. Reach out to us. Look at our volunteer center. Some people may not be able to give, but that heart of volunteering. I know some families that instead of Christmas, what they decided to do is that instead of spending that money, they're giving it out to organizations that need it. So there's many ways of giving back. Look into our website. I'm not hard to find at all. So don't hesitate to call directly in here, and I'll give you my direct line. Is I haven't been here for a while, so 310 386 310 7933. 386 310 7933. But please just use that 211 site. Look at our website. You'll see our partner agencies. Everything's on there. But, know that there are people out there for you regardless of your situation,
For
regardless of what it
sure.
is and what you need. You're not alone. This community is standing united.
For sure. Thank you so much, Yvette. Before we close out this session, I just want a couple of reminders. Our crisis helpline, 386-437-3505 is voice, TDD, TTY, or text. If you don't feel comfortable talking to someone, you can always text. We're available advocates are available 24/7. And also, now we're gearing up for the holiday season. Giving Tuesday is going to be December 1st this year. So we're revving up our campaign for Giving Tuesday. We actually have a no-show gala coming up as well. So look out for those mailers. And that's where, due to the pandemic, it's hard to have events. So instead of, you getting all fancy and coming to an event, you can just stay home, donate what you want. So it'll be a great fundraiser for us. Christmas is coming up and the holidays. So we want to make sure that our participants are taken care of, especially the children that we have. So everyone just keep a lookout on our social medias for that. And I want to thank everyone. And remember, help starts here.